Welcome to the Crush Your Sugar Craving Summit. I'm Michelle Jolly with You Define Wellness. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Haywood Simmons Jr. I'll read a short bio and then we'll jump into the questions. After a successful career in football, determined not to turn to pills to control his weight and blood pressure, Haywood turned to a path of self-love and healing, embracing and releasing his inner child. Today, Haywood is proud to always share his life mission through speaking events, writing, hosting a radio show, and as a natural healer, talking to his social community. Haywood Simmons Jr. is sharing a new life story with everyone he meets, one that is filled with hope, all the while acknowledging that your diagnosis is not your prognosis. He is a revolutionary, inspirational, community-focused coach and speaker who embraces soul, mind, and body wellness. Haywood is a strong believer in attraction and ownership of positive energy. He incorporates mindfulness into his teachings, and he believes strongly that an energy of love and peace translates directly to personal and professional success. Let's welcome Haywood. Thanks for being here today. It's so great to have you.
Yes, it's awesome to be with you, Michelle.
Yeah. So let's just jump right in. I usually like to start with, we got a little background from the bio, but if you want to kind of fill in how you got to this place in your life and how you got started, health and wellness, and why it's important to you.
Awesome. I'll keep an eye on the clock. For me, it feels like it has been a long, arduous, yet rewarding journey. I'm sitting here speaking to you today from Macon, Georgia, which is my hometown. It's a rural area outside of Macon, Georgia. I was the third generation on the farm, so to speak. And I think it was an interesting time of transition for my family and that generation and my family. I've seen it seem to have happened in different families at different times, but we were transitioning away from our deep appreciation and association with the farm. In our case, it was that of labor and markets and selling things and caring for your family while doing that. So my father was the first to graduate school in his family. My mother was the first to graduate school in her family. And along with some of that, I believe the education and moving up the ladder, so to speak, where we were introduced to different foods. I started out eating collard greens and mashed potatoes, and I ended up at fast food restaurants and with processed margarine and processed butter and processed ketchup. And so I saw that impact life differently as we grew up. There was always a desire in me to heal naturally, something about not wanting to simply rely on having to be able to get into a doctor's appointment. So there were times I remember working to heal myself. However, potato chips and snack cakes and bologna and things of that nature took over my life, and a job at a fast food restaurant. And before I know it, I was a sport athlete living on a farm with what I now know to be metabolic syndrome with diabetes, borderline diabetic. This is before college. I went on to play football for the University of Wisconsin Badgers. We won a Rose Bowl there. At that time, I was a 265, 75, thank you, pound defensive lineman. Stressed, and that's a whole nother mindful story. I was telling someone the mindfulness side of this eating. If you could take that story and couple it with a kid who was not really a football player, but a kid that was, I was an escaped farm worker. Not really a football player, more an escaped farm worker posing as a football player. And eating to do whatever it took to escape the farm and to be a football player to be able to escape the farm. And for me, that led to high blood pressure, hypertension. And I remember when I was diagnosed, I said I was not going to live under that diagnosis, but giving me the pills so I could stay alive. And I was proud at that time of the pills I took, because there were adults my age that took those same pills and had a schedule. There was a comfort in that, in having a schedule and having my mom ask me every day that I take my medicine. And progressed through life. I had 2 daughters in my first marriage, and just realized for me, I was living what I referred to as a cowardice life. Every day felt like a heart attack. Every day there was a chest pain or a backache worse than the day before in a different place. So I went to a doctor in Minnesota, Minnesota nice. And I said, Doc, I'm having some problems. And she told me basically you're fat.
Oh.
Short lady, Asian looking person. She said, you're fat. That's what she told me. And so in telling me that I was fat, I went about, what do you do about not being fat? And she told me what you do about not being fat is you don't be fat. And so after working out and training in the gym, I was an expert at losing 3 pounds and having a beer and a piece of pizza and gaining it back. I was an expert at it. I could train everybody how to lose. You can't lose 3 pounds a week. That is simple. And that was happening, but I decided to get really serious about it, change the way I ate. There were some significant changes in my body composition. I went in 8 months from 350 plus pounds to 205 pounds. And it shocked me and it shocked everyone around me. Most people thought I was dying. I wasn't sure. I thought I was just eating what I needed and how I needed. And through the years, it has been, but more it was. Before I focused on sugar, it would float up and down. I was working out a lot, training. I'm a trainer by nature, an athlete by nature, and just a work hard kind of guy. And so I would work hard and train hard and work hard, and that seemed the way to do it. And I finally started to realize how much salt was in our food. That had come to me, but its partner, sugar. And when I was able to identify me and a partner at the time, that sugar was in almost every food that we ate, even the vegan food, even the vegetarian food, even your homemade, fresh, organic, heirloom apple pie. There was yeast and bread and flours. And not only is sugar, but there are things that create sugar. And for me, one of the biggest byproducts of sugar is alcohols. And so being a former defensive lineman and in the NFL and college, I had my challenge. It was to reduce the alcohols, to find, identify, and reduce the alcohols in my body so that I could maintain water, encourage oxygen, and not be a pile of yeast, growing yeast in my gut and hosting yeast parties that lead to inflammation and what we call weight. And now, I think I mentioned to you, I was honored to receive a letter stating that at one point in life, I've been in insurance with a well-known insurance company, and I learned about insurance rates and who got the best rates, and most people paid a prorated higher rate, and I wanted to be rated either at A or better. And I received a letter a few days ago. I decided to get some life insurance term that not only that, congratulations, your rate is going to be lower than the rate you were quoted at. And so today I'm 183 pounds, somewhere around 5 to 7% body fat.
Nice. Yeah.
And I attribute that to eliminating sugar, and that it's easier to maintain than the fluctuations of 5 pounds, 10 pounds, feet fit in your shoes, they don't fit in your shoes, and those fluctuations don't happen
Yeah. And I think when we talked earlier, you mentioned kind of looking at other people in football and things and how their life was turning out. And that kind of helped shape what you were thinking about.
Definitely, there were definitely some really popular people. We knew some mammoth men. I had an opportunity to play at Wisconsin and a brief stint in the NFL, and have been on the field with Corey Stringer a few times. He passed of heat exertion in Minnesota. I was just thinking, what a gigantic, unmovable, what would it be like to be that man?
Yeah.
And then, God rest his soul, and Reggie White, what would it be like to be a man of faith with guns like the USS Kennedy, and to be able to compile that energy in a way that was intentional, not hateful, violent, and still feel God in your heart. And his heart gave out on him.
Yeah.
And I started doing some statistics and learned that most linemen that carried that type of weight don't live to be 65 years of age. And I liked myself, and I just had some children, and I wanted to give it a shot to live past 65 years of age. And to teach others in my family that were dealing. And then I started to see the reflection of family in self and how it could benefit others in my immediate family and community to know some of these simple things. Simple. I've yet to call them advanced. The advanced stuff still blows my mind. Our body is so resilient. We could do the simple stuff and have a simply amazing life.
Yeah. So true. Yeah. Well, there's some good whys to kind of get you on your path to changing your life. But some people, they know sugar isn't good for them. They don't have any of these wake up calls or don't have chronic illness yet. What might you say to them to kind of help them realize they might want to take a look at things?
Today is a wake up call day. I thank you for allowing me to be here. I ask us to be responsible for our energy. Maybe remember back, have a good litmus test or a base. And to me, that's the best feeling child you ever were. I also found I feel better at 47 than I ever have in my life. So to fast forward, to set the example to feel like an 8-year-old. The 8-year-olds do not want to play with the 47-year-old in me. I really hope and believe that the average 8-year-old American kid does not have the energy that I carry in my 47-year-old body, plus the wisdom.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to set an energetic goal to have, we talk about it in the books, Think and Grow Rich and How to Win Friends, that to have a goal and you can become who you're around, like the average of your 3 best friends.
Yeah.
Set a goal of the energy you wish to be. Be, do, have, idea. Set a goal of the energy you wish to be. And a why for that energy that I wish to be. I suggest we skip the self-abuse and to do it for something bigger than self. It had to be bigger than me for me. The treadmill was pretending I was getting to my daughters. They need you. You can do another mile. It might be tough, but there's more than a mile in you. I know it. Don't be a hypocrite. You want your daughters to learn something new, to try something challenging. Well, here's a big one for you. Let's show them how to get over the hump.
Yeah.
So hypocrisy was one for me. Don't be a hypocrite.
Yeah.
If you're a person, I happen to be around a lot of people that would be considered, many people may be considered go-getters. If you're a go-getter and you encourage other go-getters, go get it. Do not be a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Go get it, go get it. And maybe lastly, your health is not as good as it can be. And again, the guy in me motivates by just saying what I could call a negative truth. You're not that healthy. Your joints pop and creak and ache. That's not necessarily the greatest health. Some days, your ankles swell. Some days you have mucus in the middle of the day. That is excess stuff from some sugar. Let's be real about it. That you have indigestion today. Yeah, where did that come from? If it doesn't have an excuse, then it has a reason. There's no reason then there's excuse, or if there's excuse, there's a reason. But indigestion, food really should digest better. So, setting an expectation to feel good
Yeah.
and setting a marker for what feel good is. And then we have to have a why we deserve to feel good. That gets into the mindfulness side. Often with food, nutrition, we go through our why do I live? I mean, one of the number one courses out there is living life's purpose.
Mm.
So to continually be in touch with and seeking and around living on purpose and finding that purpose, often, you often say, oh, that's it, that's it. Another huge one is tag, being grateful. Tag is something that we kind of popularized in Madison, that's thankful. And in this case, we frame it around something we're thankful for that has happened in the near past.
Mm.
Near past. Near in my heart past. Appreciative. What's something I'm appreciative of about this journey or in this moment? Appreciating, like growing, I imagine like a plant, seeing it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And grateful. Moving forward, just slight anticipation, looking like if this happened and that happened, that might happen. But what are the things we're grateful for that, we're slightly anticipating? You could also refer to it as the manifester. I'm
Mm.
grateful for my stride getting better and my mile getting longer. I'm grateful for the fact that I understand food and food labels better today than yesterday, and I will seek more tomorrow. If we went backwards, appreciative in the present moment that I can feel my breath, that my muscles are sore, and my right bicep is learning how to be like my left bicep. Appreciative that my children are screaming my name and they know me and they love me and they remember me. And then thankful something in the past. I'm thankful for the hug my second oldest daughter gave me when she was 8 and feeling her heart throb in my chest. I'm thankful for having won a Rose Bowl. I'm thankful for being able to play on Sundays in Texas Stadium. I'm thankful for having the courage to tell her I loved her. And in that place, now we go eat. That calms our hormones. Sugar has a strong emotional attraction to feeling need and enjoyment and this high in life. And when we say don't go to the grocery store high. If you can come into life high on gratitude or full on gratitude, we can make different life decisions because we already are enough.
Yeah, that's
You
wonderful.
have bone and muscle. You could fast for at least 30 days on water.
Yeah.
And you would more than likely heal your body. Our favorite movies with airplanes crashing or the ships going down, rids itself right of all the junk, tightens the ship up, and gets ready to try to make it. So we have everything we need in our body right now, from the calcium and phosphorus in our bones and magnesium in our blood to melt our cells, so to speak, into the rawest, healthiest nutrients that exist and excrete it from within to heal ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point you made. Love that. And I love the tag process to kind of get people thinking and putting them in the right mindset so they can maybe start the day like that and kind of make better choices throughout the day. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Another physical thing we talk about, water.
Yeah.
Real water. So our intuitiveness and our instinct inside knows real water. Real water for me has minerals and life in it. Water in a bottle that's not moving. You ever watch Naked and Afraid?
No.
You see that? Or maybe any survival show, but moving water has life and is a sign that it's not stagnant and there are bacteria and things. Water sitting still cannot make that same promise to bring the same energy. If you ever stood under a waterfall or just feel moving water. Moving water brings air. It also brings light and energy. So real water, many of us are infusing our waters. But
Right.
drinking real water in the morning, real live water in the morning, and it's known on the internet in some offices as intermittent fasting. I refer
Mm.
to it as sun eating. When the
Ah.
sun is up, there's enough energy to help our bodies digest food. Our solar panels are wide open. At 6 o'clock, we reach somewhere around 6, we reach our peak body temperature to eat with the sun. The birds are now eating with the sun. The worms are
Yeah.
eating with the sun. The squirrels, the rabbits, the butterflies are eating. We have similar organisms inside of us. And it's a
Mm.
lot easier to eat when the sun is up and touching us than it is not. So we could max drink water until 10 or 11 o'clock, eat foods that are warming, cooling to warming, and then the same thing, warming to cooling foods on the way out of the day
Mm.
and the end with water. This will help in, it will do a lot of things, and I would add a lime or a lemon to each of
Mm.
those first two waters of the day. It's going to help the liver and the kidney with the acids. It'll help melt the yeast in the stomach. Yeast
Mm.
has memory. So if I can drink a lime in the morning, a lime in the evening, lime with my coconut, and a lime maybe in the afternoon as well, or something. And these are there are other acids as we go deeper. You
Mm.
know, there's fatty acids that can do some stuff. But just that to get started, those
Mm.
acids at the end of the day and beginning will help break down the yeast, and there will be less complaining or needy yeast in our stomach asking for more of those things that help create it to begin with. The lime or lemon allows oxygen in and water, and it can break it down, get around the yeast alcohol's barrier, help the liver get the alcohol out, and decrease our dependency on the sugar.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
most of
Great.
us in us, of all the cells that make up our body, most of them are other life forms. 1% of the 10, like they tell me 90% of our entire body is made up of other organisms.
Yeah. Yep.
We're a host.
Yeah.
10% of our body is made up of like something that would identify as human. And then 1% of that 10% identifies me.
Mm.
Of all the flesh that's here, 1% of the 10, that's double 10, and the 90, 1% of all of that sitting here is me.
Yeah.
So
Huh.
the organisms inside of us hijack your nervous system and speak for you. I want something to eat. I'm thirsty.
Mm.
Hey, I'm thirsty. If you want something to eat, eat something. That'll make you make water in your mouth. Maybe they'll be happy and I'll be happy.
Yeah.
But there are 90% of the conversations we hear in our head don't come from us. It comes from the things and the life form that we host in our body.
Mm.
And they hijack our nervous system. They are our nervous system. They're talking as they walk down the hallway, and we intercept it, and a whole bunch of other things happen. And we actually speak. My name is Haywood Simmons Jr. I have said this before. Hi, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Hi, I am starving. Could I see your ID, please? And so I now have learned to ask who's speaking, and I usually give them water. Yours
Mm.
truly talks about water, needs water, ought to drink even more water.
Mm.
So when we're hungry, many times the signal will get crossed that we need to eat and we need to drink
Mm.
real water. Bottled water probably is not real water. So then it doesn't suffice and give us what we're looking for because water has a charge in it. And the water we drink now is like goo. And so if it doesn't have a charge in it, your body
Mm.
makes a face similar to Michelle's like, yeah,
Mm.
thank you, thank you. And that causes us to be sluggish, and eventually we eat to try to stimulate more hydro pressure in the body, and the stomach starts to churn and the heart will churn, and we get some oxygen to our brain and some sugar, and there's finally energy in this body. And so we get addicted to that.
Yeah. Damn. Good stuff. Yeah. Kind of, yeah, the lemon in your water and stuff. Yeah, that's really good. I like to start with that, start my day off with that and help change the pH and everything in your body. Get a good start. So good suggestions. So for people that are dealing with kind of health issues, maybe chronic illness, diabetes, autoimmunity, and they want to kind of change their food plan and remove sugar, but there's also we talked about the mental emotional component. Which do you think is better to start with? Do you try to change your mental state or habits or things, or just get the sugar out of your diet and then your mental health will correct?
The thought that came was time and pressure will change everything. So through mindfulness, I recognize that I can see the times and pressures inside of me. You can see the times and pressures inside of me. So while we will say on one level, which one we address first, trust that they are all happening at the same time. So that's a belief that by giving more space to my mind, I am infinitely intelligent, I infinitely organized better. You know what I mean? I am infinitely intelligent, and if I can clear up this infinitely intelligent space, I can have more infinitely intelligent occurrences.
Yeah.
So to me, as we start our affirmations, I had someone I listened to online. I want to give them credit. You know, it's ingenious that I got to use it. I had definitely one. It was Burt Goldman does a mind program. I will remember it eventually, but he walks you through and has you just envision yourself, your perfect body. And you go through and you're yourself, and then you see your perfect self, you watch your perfect self, then you jump into your perfect self. So often I would do this perfect self meditation to feel myself in the body, having the life that I wanted to have. And then I would eat the foods that would allow me to have that body I saw. Or choose the habits. And so we go step by step. If I don't know the foods, then choose the habits you saw yourself doing as this healthy person. That gets at a lot of the emotional stuff, because now the guilt is gone. I saw the version of me I love, and I do the things, I envy myself, and I do the version of the things I saw myself do that I love. So to me, the mindfulness and food go hand in hand. I'm grateful in the morning for my body, and then I drink my water. In the Christian or Hebrew world, prayers before food, I'm grateful for the food, and then I eat the food. You'll chew it slower, you'll breathe deeper, you'll eat less. So be grateful. Be grateful.
Yeah.
And address the foods and choose foods you will be grateful for. If there were another psyche thing, do not hate real sugars. Love real sugars. Love them. And I mean, even your sweetest foods, test it. If you have diabetes, I want you to go eat a peach and test your blood sugar numbers. They're not the same sugars. It is not the same as eating peach cobbler at night. It's not even close. So let's lessen all sugars are not sugar. Like you can name it their sugar or sugar alcohols, or name it alcohol. And I think of it as yeast. Everything I see that I might consider or that has sugar, and I just think yeast, sickness, snot, everything. It all is that. And then apples and oranges and pears have water that would wipe your nose, clean you. They have fiber that would wipe up and clean up after itself. It's a totally different experience if even they were the same. One comes in with water and a rag and a cloth and healthy cleaning, and the other one comes in with beer and like just spilling all over the
Mhm.
place and leaving alcohol. So lessen the fear of real sugar. It is not the problem. Not even the banana I don't love. It's not the problem. The
Yeah.
apple is not the problem. The papaya, the mango is not the problem. Do not develop a hate or aversion to natural foods with sugar. Stop it. That is not the issue at all.
Yeah.
Uh, so learn to read labels. Sugar has 50 plus, 70 some different names is on, and every day it's increasing.
Mhm.
It was like 30 something when we started our sugar-free program 5.5 years ago. It's up to 70 something. And the labels have changed twice. So learn what foods are sugars. What things are called, what are the enzymes all excited about in my body that continue to live in it and request more. And you're gonna find in your salad dressing,
Mhm.
any one you buy in the store, any 99% of it has a sugar in it, even if it says sugar-free. And if it says sugar-free, then it has a ton of salt. Salt can have about the same effect as sugar. So you have to make your own salad dressings. Your yogurt that's healthy. Your purple yogurt that's Greek yogurt, that's sugar. Those are
Yeah.
alcohols. They will cause weight gain, mucus, and set you up for illness. We said earlier, what if I'm not ill? Most of us, we're either moving toward health or moving toward illness. Let's get real about
Mhm.
it. Is this meal today moving me toward health or moving me toward not health? And if we can be that responsible for ourselves, we really are gonna this thing, the weight fell off. 8 months. I saw my mama one holiday and the next she didn't recognize her son, her birth son. It'll go that fast. The stuff we carry it's like it doesn't really belong to us. It doesn't
Mhm.
want to be with us. It's trying to get out. It's telling you it's trying to get out with fatigues, with pimples, with moles, with rashes. It's telling you I want to get it out. And
Mhm.
if we drink enough water and actually put enough real minerals in the body, it will get it out.
Yeah.
If I can
Yeah.
make one super statement
Yeah.
tied to sugar or not, cancer is not a problem. Cancer is a filter trying to stop us from doing what we're already doing to ourselves.
Mhm.
Please, as your artists, consider it. Spread the word. Cancer is our body protecting ourselves. If not, we would have died instantly. This is a filter your body puts up because of how much traffic is coming through. And then
Mhm.
we annihilate the filter and hope that our drugs work and our radiation work. This is a filter. And if we were to stop putting it in the blood, the filter would shrink. We call it a
Mhm.
tumor. It is a sponge. It's an extra liver. It's an extra kidney. It came to help, but we don't stop. We go to the hospital and drink apple juice, yogurt, coffee, McDonald's, and the tumor grows in the hospital because the tumor was there to begin with to stop those things.
Mhm.
It is not your enemy. The Warburg effect says that uh, it likes sugar. It excretes acid and sugar. It likes alkaline.
Mhm.
That poisonous stuff we eat, it excretes it to keep the help from coming. Cancer likes the calm, cool, alkaline places too. And then it excretes the sugar look. And what we eat is not sugar. So
Mhm.
then we don't use fruits and vegetables to heal cancer because they have been put in the same category and they're not the same. What you heal cancer with is papayas and oranges and apples and bananas and mangoes and jackfruit. That's what you heal cancer with. Those sugars give your body energy and water to fight, and they come in with minerals, magnesium, zinc. These are iodine. These are minerals that cancer doesn't have to be there. If the minerals were there, iodine and zinc and magnesium and folate, the cancer wouldn't have had to form. They would just be in the blood doing what they do. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Great thing to think about. Yeah. That. Yeah, our body's natural protection is creating the cancer and protecting us from the evil things that we're putting in it. Yeah. So yeah, we got some great
And
things
the things
there.
we put in it have gotten more evil. There are more oils,
Yeah.
more sugars. We now found that there's plastic in all the ocean we can swim in, plastic in all, and there's plastic in every piece of food, and there's plastic in almost every hemi of blood. And plastic is an emulsifier, and we're a hydroelectric body. We don't need plastic and emulsifiers and shields in us we didn't create. We do that with movement and polarity. Nature, man does it with oil. So the oil screws up our nervous system, and there's different types of oils at different temperatures and heats. Every preservative is an oil.
Yeah.
Every food in the box has to have something in it that's preserving it and stopping oxygen flowing. And then when it gets in your body, it causes mayhem because we eat things that have oxygen and water and life in it already flowing. Any food on the shelf, any vitamin on the shelf has to be, it can't be real. What did he say? Thank you for allowing me on your show, Michelle.
Yeah.
Vitamins and nutrients occur at a place and a time where pressure and sun and the right rocks are. And then they have properties that they act like, where you cannot put them in bottles.
Yeah.
There's different calciums and different phosphorus that happen because of the sun and the pressure and the people and the fruit and the worms and the fungi in that area create that calcium. That thing that acts like something we named as calcium. That we name occurrences. Calcium is not a thing. I have a periodic table here somewhere. Calcium is not a thing. It's an occurrence. It's a number of atoms rotating at a certain time with so many freed electrons. That's not a thing. That's a time. So we're looking to create different times and clocks using minerals in our food. That is not a thing. That's a clock. You could call calcium a clock and magnesium a clock. The magnesium clock, it moves at this speed with that many electrons and releases them that fast. These are not minerals. And they can't exist without one another. I have another book here somewhere. Magnesium and iron, without the two, they can't, it doesn't even happen. You can have all the iron you want if you have no magnesium. You have all the calcium you want. If you have a right balance of magnesium, it won't have anybody to hang out with and stick to. And then that's how foods become toxic, because they don't have a partner. But if you have an abundance of magnesium, calcium, and iron, let's get busy. And then some zinc to agitate it and some water to move it and spin it, eat it. Usually we don't have a balance of all of them. And one gets caked up inside of us.
Yeah.
Something like that. Milk is not your friend. Not a chance. Milk leaches calcium from the bones. So milk is an attack to the body, and the phosphorus, which is one of the most one of the biggest free radical quenchers in the world that we store in our bone, leaves the calcium phosphate bond in the bone to deal with the lactic acid, preservatives, and heavy toxins in the milk. And you see excess calcium in your studies. The calcium did not come from the milk. The calcium came from the human being. The liver should have dealt. Yeah. So we drink milk as a substitute. It should be out the door. And then you say, what do I substitute with? As quick as you can, run the gamut. Almond milk, soy milk, who cares? Because any food that we extract from its natural environment becomes a medicine. Changes the amount of water we need, our body responds. So any almond milk where we just took the milk, minus the fiber, minus the lactose, minus the gluten, that is foreign. Even in from a whole food, that becomes like medicine. That's herbal medicine. Once you start to extract things and take them, and they don't have the water and the fiber and the other minerals.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, eating the whole food with the energy in it, and energy goes into you. The whole complete vitamin supplement. Yeah, daily vitamin.
Yeah, life disease in it. The liver, the kidney grabs it, spins it the other way, change the polarity on the hydrogen. Thank you. Here we go. Now we have negatively charged and positively charged hydrogen coming out of the body, hydrogen God particle. If we got hydrogen positive and negative in us, you have the God particle both sides operating inside of you right now. What else do you need? You need like
Yeah.
God positive and God negative, like jumping around in you.
Yeah.
And that makes peroxide. As they break apart and come in and out, the dizziness we see on our tongue, the dizziness we see, that's HOOH. That's peroxide. That's what we try to pour on most things. You create that just in breathing and drinking water. You create hydrogen, you create peroxides just by the bond and the breakdown of oxygen and water in your body.
Yeah.
We are the cleansers, but we don't eat enough cleansing food. And sugar, and this stuff we call sugar, whether it's sugar or alcohol, helps build up yeast mounds that have a memory and a pattern and a program. Just switch my. But like the foods we eat leave a pattern inside of us. And if we don't mix these patterns up, then they have to like come fill in all the time. When we change the foods we eat, we change the patterns inside of us and we change the resonance in our body.
Yeah.
They leave a pattern and we can change the pattern. And that pattern impacts your DNA, impacts your genes, your cells, that impact your genes, that impact your DNA, that impact your RNA, and vice versa. You are not stuck to your genes. Our genes are malleable. They change, they look at each other. RNA asks the DNA, what's going on in there? Well, and the DNA shows it a map, says this is what's been happening. RNA with the coronavirus says, well, I got a big ass I have a big problem. I have a big problem. You're gonna need to change that map. And the RNA tries to, it shakes it up. And then, and DNA, but if our RNA can convince DNA to change, and then DNA can talk to the genes, and the genes then say to the proteins, I know you have a way you like to grow, but I'm gonna have to ask you to do the exact opposite because this is the information I'm getting from the RNA, the DNA, and the genes. And so when we have minerals and metals present to protect that information, and we're sending information, we're choosing our life, we're envisioning where we're going, it changes the whole MO on how our immune system protects, defends us, and what minerals we reserve and don't reserve and expect.
Yeah, great stuff. Yeah, we could chat all day about health. So much good stuff to talk about. But we're coming to the end. So I want to mention your free gift you want to give everybody, which is really super generous. So it's 30 free positive outcome coaching sessions, kind of helping people with stress and grief and pain, weight loss, acute illness, and motivation. So it's wonderful. So if people can we have your email address below, and so they'll just email you and say, I want my free gift. So so nice of you. Yeah.
And they always leave with something. They'll leave with a tag, they'll learn tag, so have a gratitude exercise. I get emails and thank yous about tag all the time.
Good.
They'll have a morning drink that'll hydrate them. So we always have you leave with a gift, and hopefully we'll be friends or have a special moment. And they'll have a meditation. They'll learn one of the simple meditations for calming the autonomic nervous system to help us make better decisions.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us today. It was great having you. It's so much good information we can take and live better, reduce sugar.
Great. I enjoyed being here with you, and good luck to you. I love everything you're doing.
Oh.
And I appreciate you getting the word out to people about the fact that they can live.
Yeah. Thanks. You too. I love your work too. So we'll tell everybody so we're going to close up this interview and make sure to check in with us for tomorrow's interview for some more great information on reducing and getting rid of sugar in your life. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.